Welcome back to In the Oven with Adam and Brad. It's been an eventful time these last, I don't know, I guess since we did our podcast on Thursday and this is Tuesday, it's only been 4 days, but I feel like a lot has happened.
Yeah, I do too.
Oh my gosh. Miley, go lay down. Miley, lay down. I just can't deal with her. All right.
Some dog socks.
All right.
We're back.
Yeah. So we have a lot has happened over the last 4 days. Fun things that are business and not business related. For example, my daughter turned 3.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Cool ass party too.
Yeah, we had a fun little party at a park. It's kind of, it was not far, but it's just off the path that most people travel.
I didn't know it was even back there.
So I think that's part of it. Well, a lot of people are like, wow, this is a really cool park back here.
It's pretty. You can tell it doesn't get much use either.
Yeah, it had rained that morning, so it was cooler outside. It was kind of windy, but that's not a big deal. I'd rather it be windy than scorching hot. But so that was a lot of fun. And then for Letty's, we did it on Saturday, and Letty's actual birthday was Sunday. So we went to church. Then we went to IHOP. We have a tradition. We go to IHOP on her birthday, and she gets pancakes with loaded up. Yeah. And then also Letty's birthday is my parents' wedding anniversary as
cool.
well.
Wow.
So it was my parents' 40th wedding anniversary, which is a big one, you know?
Very, very cool.
So
Congratulations.
they came to breakfast. I bought them breakfast. I was like, here you go.
Sure.
And then after that, we met you at the pool. And we spent about an hour and a half, 2 hours out there at the pool. Long enough that Aubrey got cooked.
Oh yeah. I just napped all day. I catch up on my sleep on Sundays.
Yeah. And then after that, we came home and Letty napped for 3 hours, and then she woke up and told us that she wanted pizza.
All right.
And sweet frogs. So we went and picked up a take and bake pizza and baked it here, and then she went to Sweet Frogs, and that was her day.
Hell yeah. Cool.
Yeah, it's a fun little birthday thing. So she's obsessed with Sweet Frogs now. I don't. She just loves frozen yogurt.
Yeah.
I don't know if it. I think it's
cold.
mainly.
You get to mix different stuff in.
Yeah, she loves those little jellies.
Okay.
Jelly balls you can put in there. Then she calls. I don't know if I told you this. She calls the cheesecake bites bread. Oh. She's like, "Can I get some bread?"
Bread in there.
And so when we were asking her,
man, it's so funny, your kids have those words and you don't correct them, and then one day they say it right.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, it's a sad
Liam
thing.
had a whole bunch different ones, and you forget some of them, but behind you, if you would just say something, it was always behind. So he'd be like, "It's behind you," and just me and my wife just couldn't ever correct him. You correct your kids on some things, but then it's just it's no, it's still behind you, Leo.
Letty would say "hober me" for hold me.
Okay.
She'd say "hober me."
Oh, and when the kids say they get the whatever reverse where they're like, "I want to hold you."
Yeah. And then right now, the funniest thing that she does, words for me, I think is she says the word again, but she goes again like that. And
yeah,
it's
she's got a little accent every now and then.
Yeah.
That little country accent.
Yeah. Well, I know Aubrey's raising her up to say pop for soda,
Midwest.
So she's definitely a little Midwesterner when it comes to that.
Yeah, growing up, I think we just called it whatever it was. So if you wanted if someone asked me if they wanted a Coke, I thought they were offering me a Coca-Cola.
Right.
Or a Pepsi or a Sprite or Sprite. I don't know. I think I don't remember having generic, or then it was soda. I think that's what we called it in my house.
I swear people just called everything Coke. No matter what. You guys have Coke or whatever.
Yeah. That's confusing to me.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think the general term would probably be soda. I've just seen those polls online. Where
I say
what
soda.
Area, of the world.
But I agree with you. I think I grew up saying I want Dr. Pepper, or I want the specific soda I wanted.
Yeah, because if you want a pop, I don't want any pop. I don't want any if Coke means any soda, any beverage. No, I don't.
Yeah.
Let's go with no. So.
Aubrey's favorite pop machines, if you will, are the ones at Zaxby's where it has it's like the one machine, but you can do like a million different drinks in this machine,
one ring to rule them all.
Yeah. Like you can go there and you can be like, I want diet.
Yeah, you can get a lot of really good diet options for sure. I like that a lot. And even the water.
Yeah, they have all the flavor. Yeah, they have all the flavoring. So you can get like diet root beer with vanilla, with cherry, with whatever you want. And so that one's
fancy.
Yeah. That's Aubrey literally sometimes would be craving Zaxby's just to go there for that, the fountain soda. And then fountain sodas and canned sodas.
Different.
So different.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think the carbonation's more in fountain?
You can change. Well, you can set what it is on a fountain soda. So you can put more or less carbonation, more syrup. A lot of them have more syrup.
Oh, okay.
Like McDonald's has even their own, I don't know if you knew this, they have their own, so they have a Coca-Cola. They have their own, the only place you can get McDonald's Coca-Cola is at McDonald's. And it's Coca-Cola. And their straw is wider. It's sweeter. There's more sugar content in the McDonald's Coca-Cola. So people said that for years, but they finally were like, yeah, no, it's true. We get our own.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know why they wanted it to be a gimmick, because it's like, yeah, you want that crack, you got to come here.
Yeah.
So you want a Big Mac with it.
Imagine, I mean, people already, the amount of people that drink Coca-Cola is astronomical. It's actually something at church they told us. It's the number like one most recognizable business branding.
Yeah, I bet.
Around the world.
In a lot of like third world countries and stuff, Coca-Cola is consumed so much.
Is it because it's easier to get than water?
Yes, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Just Coca-Cola. Like I watched something, I've not been down to Australia, but I watched something where like a lot of the Aboriginal people are having all these teeth problems because of how much access to Coca-Cola they get.
Yeah.
I was like, that's crazy.
Well, yeah, and I think it's like a lot of like Hispanic countries too. Like population drinks a lot of Coca-Cola and stuff. So, but no, I just couldn't believe how big Coke is, and then you have just all the different varieties of products that they have, and so the amount of people drinking sodas is just like astronomical. Yeah. I mean, it was probably like the most. It's probably drank more than water, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I know a ton of people, or I have known a ton of people that consume very little water.
Yeah,
like very little, and drink a lot of sodas. I mean, we got some folks who work here drink a lot of sodas.
How do you just not feel like crap all the time?
I don't know. I think everyone does feel like crap all the time. Everyone complains all the time. They're like, "Oh, I'm so tired. I'm this. I'm that."
Yeah,
it's like that thing we saw.
Right. Yeah. People will complain about everything, but they're not willing to do anything about it.
I'm tired. Did you stay up late last night? Yeah. Okay. Well.
I feel like a lot of times people have lived their life, like so much of their life in that status or feeling, like that they don't even realize that they could feel better. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, it's crazy.
Because I mean, we just went on our trip and to Salt Lake, and then right after that, I went on a trip with you, and I think that honestly, we probably do a better job than most of eating pretty healthy, But I still. Was ready to get back.
I'm just a big old wuss. I don't want to feel so shitty all the time. I can imagine. Yeah, I eat junk food. Like get off some kind of routine. Don't work out. Yeah, like sitting down hurts. Like everything's like ugh. I know your back hurts. I can tell.
I notice it, and like you were saying, like I'm tired. Like I feel more lethargic throughout the day. Like if I haven't been eating well, it's like 3 o'clock rolls around. I'm like I can take a nap.
Yeah, your body's running on gunk.
Yeah. So back to some work-related stuff. I think we mentioned that the trip last week that we took was not the greatest trip, but now it's kind of put us up against the corner because we have companies that are putting in massive orders for the new product that we're doing.
We basically needed this thing to go, gangbusters, and it didn't go. So they've basically put us in a position where we had to go through lining up plan B and C in case this shit happens again. And it's not looking good for the original equipment manufacturer either.
Right. Yeah. I think I would say this is like if you were imagining a high diver doing this like perfect dive, and then instead of a perfect dive, they belly flopped. And that is a visual representation of what I want you to know that last week was for us. So yeah, like Adam's saying, like we've been scrambling. We've been vetting some other suppliers. One of them we already know does one of the products really well. We don't really know how it does the other product, but honestly, it should be easier, so shouldn't have an issue with that. So yeah, we're just scrambling there. Plus, I'm learning a lot. Found some equipment manufacturers and things that exist.
So it's going to silver lining out to be that we've now kind of made some new contacts we didn't know existed, and if these are half as good as we think they are, then it's just going to be very lucrative.
Yeah.
Or very fruitful, whatever, network relationship building.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I wholeheartedly believe the new product, which honestly, there's only like 10 people that watch this anyway. So it's cookie dough bites that we're doing, which I think the big sexy bag would be the best one. But so for those that, if you can see this, there you go. Obviously, this was first rendition, and we've made some changes. Like Megabytes now has cookie dough really big underneath it, so people can see it. But this is them. You'll get an 8-ounce package of it, and we have 5 flavors: Pitch Intense, Pudge, Black Beauty, Big Sexy, and Massive Eruption.
That's right. Yeah, so exciting stuff for us, for sure. Yeah.
But the riser equipment just could not make the small enough bites consistently. It wasn't just the bites it was also just like dropping them off the bell. It was
so it just, at the speeds we got to hang, the sheer volume that we have to produce, we need something that is fast and efficient and makes a damn near perfect product. I mean, we have high quality control standards, and we're going to stick to them. We know it can be done. We've seen it done, and we need it done by our equipment manufacturers so that both ourselves here and any co-manufacturers that we set up can do it at scale for us. So
yeah,
interesting times for sure. Interesting times ahead. Interesting conversations to be had, but
yeah, I think it's always part of it. It's just a hard thing. But you know, when you're spending the kind of money that we're spending, it would be like it's the equivalent of a house payment, right? Like buying a new house. Like you would not be like, I'm going to spend all this money on a house and it's all right. Like I don't really like this and this and this about it. And well, I guess it'd be more like it's missing a garage door.
Yeah, this house is missing stuff that was promised it had.
Yeah.
And now we're.
Yeah, now you're like, I don't know about that. But yeah, I mean, it's multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it's you want to make the best decision, and yeah, it's just difficult. That's the hard times. Yep. Rolling into some of our trending topics, social media ban for kids under the age of 14 in Florida. And Florida has banned children under 14 from having social media. This was actually signed yesterday by Governor Ron DeSantis. And on top of that, if you're 14 to 16, you can't have social media without parental consent. So what's your thoughts on that?
Good. I don't know. 14 to 16. I don't know, man. I don't see why a 14 to 16-year-old really even needs to know and interact with people that far away.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, why you need to be. I don't know. I just see stuff on there that's like, okay, no, you know?
Yeah.
Even if it's not like a sexual picture of a kid, of like a girl, it's like, what's it on there for?
Right. Yeah, I think
little boys to look at, but then there's grown people looking at it. I don't know.
A lot of the exploitation / grooming and all that stuff nowadays for children comes from social media. Like, you know, I mean, there's a lot of people that prey on those younger kids on social media.
You're not giving your kid access to the world when you give them a phone and social media. You're giving the world access to your kid, you know? And like, well,
yeah.
You know, you can do a lot of things to like put barriers up, but like, I don't know.
You can't stop everything.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. And then, well, you got to go both sides, man. Like, you can be overly fearful of things, too, or, like, whatever. The world is the world. The sooner you are exposed to something and effective, you know, of course, don't get chewed up, spit out, but, like, start learning how to deal with the way the world is, the better suited you'll be. So that's the dilemma, I guess, as parents. Fun stuff.
Yeah. But, yeah. So I'll just be interested to see how they, you know, implement that because –
I was an idiot as a kid, so I just would have been in jail permanently, probably. I don't know. Yeah, what are you? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm glad there wasn't social media when I was younger.
Me too.
I'm glad that there's a lot of undocumented stupid things that I did
too.
that would have been documented.
I don't even need to remember it. So.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Anyways.
Yeah.
So just in Florida, that's weird.
Yeah, and also just like, how are they gonna enforce?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, is it when you cross state lines, or they're just gonna all of a sudden like geolocate you and be like, this content's banned? I mean, you go to Canada, same thing. Like, as soon as you cross it, like, you try to watch a TV show and you have VPN or something, you know. Then are the Florida kids just gonna be VPN then to like?
Yeah, they're gonna be out ahead of it.
Yeah,
sure.
that'd be
crafty little bastards.
The only thing I could think of that would be like detrimental at this point, but like some of them may have created like businesses and personal brands. And I know, I mean, the reason I bring that up is that Jack Doherty kid who has a really big following on YouTube. I actually know him just because he asked for some cookies like back in the day, and so I've just kind of kept up with him. But he was like 14 years old when he had 1 million followers on YouTube, and it was the videos like, I locked myself in my mom's car for 24 hours. And then it's like he brought his TV in there and like literally had like playing video games or.
Hey man, yeah, some kids are getting after it and making some serious money. I don't know what to do about that. I would hope that their parents are very heavily involved in whatever they're doing. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, then it's like you could run your parent. It could be your parents' account and you just create the content for it.
Right. Or a family, like what like a family account.
Seems like what you kind of should be doing anyways. Well, I don't think I'd be like, hey, Liam, go have fun. I don't know. Seems wild.
Yeah, you probably have heard some weird conversations even on Fortnite.
Oh, I hear him. They're talking about, I mean, he's still so young, and we have some of it, like, and he's such a good kid that kids will be, he'll like mute people or whatever if you don't want to hear that stuff. But like, not all kids are like that. Most kids aren't. They start getting curious at some point.
Right. Yeah.
It feels like that's a great place to, because you can find whatever you want, even on Instagram. Before, like, I mean, the stuff I see, I'm like, this, I feel like used to never be on Instagram.
Well, you know what?
It's just like,
it's the Wild West. I didn't even realize it was Twitter or X. Oh, yeah. I didn't realize there are literally like
whatever. There's full
on porn.
Yeah. Crazy. But their thing is, they're saying that it's like you have the ability to like kind of shut off that side by just clicking that button. So just don't have that click.
Right.
Not safe for work.
Okay.
And then that like it's free speech is kind of what they're. So even though like I don't really think that shit should be out there either, my political or whatever, I believe kind of in freedom of speech. So it's like as long as you don't have to throw it in my face, I think you can say it over there to an extent. You're not inciting violence or whatever.
Yeah, but speaking of porn, I'm going to bring you back to something that happened in Panama City. Bay County made the map. Bay County, it was on the map for not a good reason. And I don't know, have you ever worked out at Fitness Junkies?
Yeah.
So Aubrey and I used to have a membership there. But there's a beach gym called Fitness Junkies here in Panama City. Yeah. That a guy was caught filming women changing, and like he was filming somehow, like, I don't know, through the wall or over the wall. I don't know how he was doing it, but he was filming women changing at the gym.
He was doing it like
and then posting it online.
Yeah, I know.
It wasn't just like he was keeping it for himself, like he was posting it online.
I don't understand any of it.
And I don't know if he's married, but he's either married or has a girlfriend, and then that girlfriend has a kid.
Way to go.
So, she I saw something where she had responded to some comments and about how she's like, I obviously had no idea this was going on. Like, this is terrible. Like, da da da.
Yeah. Stone him. Bring back stoning. That's what it's for.
Well, I was just thinking, like Aubrey and I used to work out there. If Aubrey would have been one of the victims of his crime,
stoning.
Yeah, I would have lost
Stoned
it
to death. With bullets.
And then I think about like my daughter, one day, like being the victim of these crimes. So
need to set an example.
Yeah.
Don't do that shit. It's predatory. It's fucking sexual predatory. Gross. People are gonna feel violated. They're gonna feel violated forever.
Well, no, we talked about
feel unsafe. Like
we talked about this too. Is that like those women didn't do anything, and now there's naked videos of them online forever.
I mean.
Because no matter what you do, you can't delete the trails. Like once they go onto the internet,
they are actual victims.
Yeah, and so that's really what's so, I guess, sad or devastating to me is like that whole situation. These people, it's just
over and over and over again viewed whenever you can't delete something off the internet. It's forever.
Well, it's not like someone stole something from you that insurance is going to give you the money for. Something like someone took something from you that no one can give you money for, like pay you back. So, yeah, super sad.
Stoning. That's how I say we fix it.
Well, what about, how do you feel about affairs, but when the person's not married?
Well,
I guess it would just be cheating at that point. Yeah.
Andrew Huberman.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we were talking about this before the podcast. I don't know if any of y'all know who Andrew Huberman is, but what would you say his kind of content is? More like philosophy? I mean,
there's a lot of like medical science-y type stuff, and then philosophy on like, but like
neuroscience.
Yeah, he's neuroscience and things like that. I mean, it's a lot on like, he has podcasts where we actually heard about that anterior singular cortex or whatever, that part of your brain that grows. He had people like David Goggins on there, and they talk about discipline and things like that. And then he has people on there talking about, how much water should you be drinking. It's a lot of just like health and wellness, probably.
Well,
scientific and philosophical.
I guess I would have to consult. I feel like people are putting him on blast like he's a hypocrite, but I don't know if he's ever said not to,
Yeah.
Because we looked it up a little bit. If he's married, it would change the whole game. But if he's not married, then he's got a bunch of, they're trying out for the team, man. They ain't made it yet. They know what it is.
And for people that don't know, the article that we read talked about Huberman's flexibility and logistical acuity to manage multiple concurrent. They're calling it affairs, which I disagree with the term affairs. I think if anything, it's cheating or something. But with women spread across the U.S., a lengthy report reveals how 5 of these women, who each believed their relationship with Huberman was exclusive, pieced together a drawing board web of his relationships. And later on in the article, it talks about how he slept with a woman in his hotel room, and then when she left, another woman showed up within an hour.
So it's more really like a lengthy article, because it's New York Times, right? Like a lengthy article
or the Journal
about
or something. Yeah,
how much game Andrew Huberman has is what it sounds like. They're just trying to make it seem bad.
Yeah,
it's like, again, I'm a married man, right? So I'm not going to do any of this stuff, but okay, playa, you just had a revolving door of women.
Well, how many NBA players or NFL players?
How much game do you have to have for them to not know?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
all of it,
or movie stars or any professional athlete. I bet you they have had a girl come before the game, girl come after the game.
Yeah, homie is.
I may come to their house.
Confident, handsome, carries himself, well, rich, famous, travels all over the place,
in great shape.
Yeah, I don't. If you were his girlfriend, you might want to watch out. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Maybe not get married.
That's true. Yeah.
Solve that problem.
So do you think this will affect Andrew Huberman at all?
Nope.
This backlash?
I think Andrew Tate's going to fly him out and have him on his thing.
Honestly,
that's what he should do.
Huberman probably is going to, again, I know that this isn't the greatest mantra, but they say there's no such thing as bad PR.
Yeah, man. Really lean into it, dude. I mean, because, again, if they can't pull a video out that says where he says something, which I can't imagine, only have one girlfriend at a time.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. And, dude's, what, in his 40s? I don't know how old he is.
Yeah, he's definitely in his late 40s.
Man, whatever,
probably.
dude's getting, I don't know. Seems wild.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it just shows you media is grasping for anything. Because I was like, Andrew Huberman is not a household name.
Bro, anything out there, and I'm not saying this particular behavior, but it just seems like anybody out there that has any kind of strong masculine energy, about anything, they have to poke a hole in them somewhere.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Another thing that happened this morning was the Baltimore Key Bridge collapsed.
Yes.
Which is wild. We saw the videos of it. It's crazy. You just see this cargo ship heading right for the bridge and just runs right into
It looked like it wasn't even going to stop, man.
Yeah.
It just, I mean, well, the power went out, and I guess it was coasting.
Right.
I can't imagine how much those things weigh.
Yeah, and if they get moving, it probably takes a while to slow down.
Forever, but gosh, man.
Yeah,
Need Spider-Man there to save them.
I mean, it was the craziest thing I've seen. Like, they hit that bridge, and the whole bridge. Oh. I thought, like, a chunk would fall or something, right?
Right.
No, the whole bridge just fell.
Man, yeah. And
violently fell. And
there were people on the bridge, too.
Yeah, there were people on the bridge. They said that, I think, 8 people is what they thought was on the bridge, and majority of those people were workers. Like 6 of them were workers, something like that. But they've only found 2 people. And one of them is in intensive care, and the other one was uninjured. Which is wild, right? I want to know who that uninjured. Yeah. That's like that movie, Unbreakable, or whatever.
That's how it starts.
Yeah.
Bench pressing paint buckets soon.
Yeah.
Doing it.
But either way, it's crazy to see. You can like see cars on the bridge when it hits, it's so they used. I thought this was cool. They used infrared and sonar technology to mark 5 vehicles underwater in the river, 3 of which are believed to be passenger vehicles. And so they have like 8 dive teams made up of 50 divers. So 400 people diving. Is that right? There are 8 dive teams made up of about 50 divers. Or maybe there's 8 dive teams and there's like 50 total. Yeah. What? I mean, there'd be like 6 people per team. That's probably more likely. I doubt you got
50 out there at a time. Wow.
Yeah. But it's cold.
Yeah.
Super cold.
And limited visibility.
Oh, yeah. Well, like, we're lucky. Right. Diving in the Gulf, it's like you can have 100+ feet visibility. But have you ever dove in the bay?
Oh, yeah.
You can't see anything. Yeah.
Can't see your hands. Sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know why anyone would ever dive in the bay other than like, we went down on the jetties, which was a little bit better visibility, but like it's not the greatest. Crabs. Yeah. Yeah, you can't, but you can't see. No, you can't see. So
little holes.
So what I'm saying though is for dive school, we had to do like this search and rescue dives where they would like throw something in the water and then we'd have to retrieve it. And so there were different methods you could use. One was like, because we always buddy dove in bad visibility, but you go down and you put like a stake in the ground, and then one guy would have like cord, and he would just like slowly let the cord out like while y'all swam in circles, and then you were just like rubbing the ground trying to feel it. Because when I went diving in at dive school in the like harbor, like you could only see your hand when you put it in front of your mask, and like as soon as you moved it away, it just like disappeared.
Yeah, and then you do like a big area, you do a big grid.
Yep.
Or whatever. The
grid one was another one that we did. So yeah, there's just a couple methods, but I'm assuming it's not going to be easy to find these 5 vehicles.
No, and that's crazy. Sad for their families.
Yeah. Yeah, just mind your own business on the bridge and
working. Just not that's better any other time, but I don't know. Just gosh.
Well, and some I guess other sad news. Princess Kate has cancer.
Yeah, more thing.
I don't know if you were following this, but like I follow House and Habit on Instagram, who does like a lot of like she's like a journalist, but she doesn't have any media ties, so she reports and it's very cut and dry. It's not kind of tainted with some of that like So she, essentially 3 months ago, like Kate had said that she was having some procedure and she would not be coming back out.
You told me something about the like bag or whatever.
Right,
maybe?
yeah. So like people then started speculating, they thought it was based on the fact that she potentially could have an eating disorder. If you saw her, I mean, I could imagine the pressure of a woman in her position to upkeep a certain appearance. But they were saying, a potential eating disorder and that she may have had to have bowel surgery and she may have had a colostomy bag or whatever. So that's why they're saying that maybe she wouldn't be out in public for 3 months. But now, obviously the truth came out and that she has cancer.
Yeah, it's sad. Did we see what kind? I don't know if it said what kind, just that she had cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, the royal family's kind of a weird thing, but they're very, they're still keep on keeping on, I guess.
Yeah.
Being royal.
Yeah.
Being better than you.
Well, the queen was around forever.
I know, man.
But
that old bitty was rocking and rolling till I wonder how old she was when she died.
The queen?
Yeah.
I mean, she was in her like late 80s, early 90s, I'm pretty sure.
Last of the lizard people, man.
And other royal news, if you will, Prince Harry has been named in the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking lawsuit. For those that didn't know, Diddy's houses, like all of them, right? Like it was like Miami, LA.
Yeah, they got raided. I don't know what's about to unfold, but
there's videos of like his sons getting arrested, like on the lawn out there, like from the helicopter perspective.
Wow.
Yeah, but I don't think supposedly they don't have Diddy yet.
Oh, is he hiding?
Oh, you didn't hear about this?
No.
Oh, his private plane took off like right before the raid. And I think he flew to like
Epstein
some
Island.
other country, you know?
They better go check Epstein Island. Yeah, dude, all that stuff's wild. I mean, I don't know if it was, I don't really keep up with this type of news, but I want to say like Nicki Minaj or somebody called Meek Mill out about something like a long time ago because I think they were together.
Yeah.
And I think I looked into it and there was like allegations or whatever. Then it was Usher, then it was whatever. But now it's all like, oh. Hey, y'all boys are a little sweet. That's fine. It's 2024.
But apparently there's like leaked audio now of Diddy and Meek Mills together.
Well, it's wild, dude. Yeah, it peels back the curtain on what you thought might have been tough gangster rap or something because like some of the allegations or whatever, I watched them like read not deposition, I don't know, the paperwork.
Yeah.
And they were like, Diddy was like, yo, man, come on, this is normal. We do this in this industry while showing a video of like two dudes going at it. And I'm like, nah, dog.
Yeah.
Never mind. I don't want to be a rapper anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Want to do anything else?
So it's really wild, to see that, obviously Prince Harry being named to that and then the whole Diddy arrest and lawsuit all together. There's also been just some like weird stuff about like Justin Bieber and Diddy when he was younger.
Yeah, they pulled those videos up and like,
yeah,
anything kids, man, makes you want to kill somebody. So
yeah,
I hate it to even think about that. But like Usher was young as hell when he was hanging out with him too. I mean, Usher's not that old and this was forever ago.
Yeah.
So dang.
Yeah, weird stuff over there. So the Queen was 96.
Oh, now I know.
Yeah. Hey,
knowing's half the battle.
Yeah, I asked Eastman, so we typed into www.askeastman.com.
Right.
I actually saw this topic, but people are getting very upset at the NFL because everyone's saying the NFL is getting soft, So they got rid of, or they just banned just recently, hip drop tackles.
Okay.
Do you know what a hip drop tackle is?
No.
So it's like if I'm going to tackle you, instead of like hitting you from the front, I kind of grab you from the side and then I like fall down. I fall.
Got it.
To pull you down.
Yep.
So a lot of people are arguing it's essentially
like a hip throw.
Yeah, it's the same thing as like horse collar tackle because you're essentially applying a ton of downward pressure to
Makes
somebody
sense.
And it can just cause a lot more injuries. So a lot of people are really mad about that. And I didn't know this, but the kickoff.
Is it occurring though, or it just hypothetically could occur? Because I mean, like the hip strength you usually have to be a football. I mean, like I used to power clean all the time. Wouldn't that?
With the hip strength.
Wouldn't your own body protect you?
Yeah, but I think what people are worried about is like rotational pressure on your knee. Like if that leg is planted and someone yanks down on it, it's more like
Fair
knee.
Enough. That makes sense.
Yeah. So I think that's like, tearing ACL or whatever from.
Just get rid of pads.
Yeah, I think they've tried to make pads to make people safer, but
rugby,
they're not.
man, they're just like, they're dislocating everything that happens in football. Just you don't hit each other that hard.
Yeah. Well, you can't.
You don't want to.
Yeah, you
Hurts.
can't. Yeah, you really can't hit someone that hard.
Problem solved.
But I didn't know this one, but kickoff will now be 5 yards apart. Not sure what that means, but no one can move until the ball is caught. So normally, the kicker runs up and kicks it, and then everyone starts running.
So everyone just stands.
And so that's going to be interesting, to say the least, because
I feel like that's going to create a lot more inertia at point of impact.
No, they're trying to say that there's more inertia because people are running full speed, and the guy's catching the ball, and then he's getting, like, blown up.
Yeah, but aren't they going to both now be running at full speed?
Yeah, I mean, hypothetically.
Yeah.
But I don't think people can get up to top speed, if you will,
maybe,
in that amount of time, maybe. But I don't know. If you're not moving
then neither side's moving.
Yeah, no. I don't know.
Shabang!
kicker will kick from their 35, and the other players will stand 5 yards apart instead of running to speed. Okay, so the kicker's kicking it, and then they'll stand 5 yards back. And then as the kicker runs up, they all kind of move with the kicker. Now they can't. They have to stand there. And then, I don't know. This will be I don't see this being I think you're going to see more kick returns now because, why wouldn't you start running? The closest guy is across the field.
Right.
So
it's going to change a lot.
Because if they kick from the 35 and he happens to drill it all the way into the end zone. Okay, the end zone is 7 yards deep. So from the 35 to the back of the end zone would be 65 yards plus the back of the end zone, so 72 yards. So even if they were both running full speed at that point, then it would take 35 was in between those. So you'd make it out to the 30-yard line, and that's at the back of the end zone.
Okay.
If you just give a knee, you only get to the 25.
All right.
So more people are going to run it out. It just doesn't make sense not to run it out.
Here you go. Here we got he's going to show us.
Okay. Here we go.
Yeah, we got something pulled up on screen here.
Yeah, we'll share this video maybe. Oh, now I understand.
Oh, yeah, that's not what I was saying at all.
So wow. Okay, I'm going to have to break this down. So the kicker's still kicking from the 35. However, the other team is now at the 40-yard line on the opposing team side. So 15 yards closer.
Right.
Or whatever, 25 yards closer, right? Oh, whatever. They're much closer, and that's only 5 yards off of the other people. I still think that this is weird, though, because what about onside kicks now? How are you going to do an onside kick? An onside kick you had to kick a ball and it had to travel 10 yards, and then it was live. Yeah. So how are you going to do an onside kick now? It's weird. Weird. 25 yards from spot kick, landing zone. So I think it's going to land.
Affect my life 0.
I know it's not going to affect your life. But, I mean, it'll be interesting from
we'll see what happens.
Fantasy football standpoint. I think we'll probably see more kick returns.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see about that. But yeah, I think that's all we had in the trending topics for today.
Yeah, trying to get the flow of things going here.
Yeah, it's I guess we do have some good news. We've been added to 40 Cold Stone locations. Yep. 40 more, right?
That's right.
So now we're up to 50 locations about.
Oh, wait, hold on. We have breaking news on that. Sorry. Caught my thing. Onside kicks will only be allowed in the fourth quarter and only if the team is trailing.
Wow. That is.
You have to declare it.
That is wild. Well, I mean, that takes away the whole tomfoolery of it, Yeah. It didn't happen often, but once every season, some team pulled off some onside kick that was second quarter, they were down, so they just went for it earlier on in the game and they get it, I don't know. Yeah, interesting. So, wow. Okay.
Anyways, back to Cold Stone.
Yeah, so we're already in 10 and we're adding 40 more.
That's right.
So we're at 50 locations there. And then we are now working with a food distributor to handle the cookie dough bites for DoorDash, right? So because we don't want to handle the shipment and logistics of that. That's why they're not going to be an e-commerce product either. You'll have to come to our storefront, or you have to order them on DoorDash or DashMart or something like that.
Find them in grocery stores.
Yeah, or find them in the grocery stores when we roll out. But that being said, we have that distributor for that product, so that's growth on that end. And then we added, I don't know how many new DoorDash locations.
Yeah, that's hard to quantify each week. I mean, we're just building towards all of them.
Right.
So it's kind of tough to know how many came on board. With Cold Stone, they're also looking at adding the weirdos onto their menu as just another mix-in option.
Right.
So kind of whether or not, we talked about, whether
full
the customer
cookie
wants cookie with ice cream or ice cream with cookie.
Yeah.
Kind of similar deal. So.
Right. Yeah. So a lot of exciting stuff for us. But I think just when you're in the business growth phase, it's just difficult because, I think we brought this up numerous times. You don't have the resources necessarily to be where you need to be, even though you need to be there.
Yep.
And so you're just working towards that. And, I think a lot of people can look at the amount of cookies going out of our facility right now and be like, oh, they're just making bank. And it's like, no, not
It's
making
on the
bank.
come, y'all.
So, but it's just like, you know, you reinvest a lot of the money that the company, you know, gets
Constantly.
like just straight back out. So
even if it's just inventory for the next order, you know, which is what a lot of what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Inventory and labor for the future order that's larger that we get paid a month later, and just
I think we've
growth.
talked about that,
Growth
like
is
essentially
expensive.
like how, you know, it's just like we have more accounts receivable right now than sometimes our like best month ever.
Oh yeah.
Like just waiting to be paid out. So it's a crazy thing when you're like waiting on hundreds of thousands of dollars to be paid out to you, but then the customer is still like ordering more, so you're still producing, and then you're like waiting for this payment. So, you know, and if we were a company that ordered a finished good from someone, it wouldn't be as difficult for us on that end, because then we'd have 30 days to pay for it usually, and then we could ship it out right away, and the money would come quickly.
Different, but it's all the same. Yeah, we just have the addition of having to juggle all the manufacturing components too. Definitely.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, that also, I think a lot of people have, you know, I think it's awesome, you know, HydroJug, sour strips. They order their product, it comes to their warehouse, then they ship it out, or sometimes they ship it direct to whoever they need to ship it to. And sometimes I'm envious of that, but then it's just like when they're trying to do new products and it's like taking them like 4 months to do, and I'm like,
that's right.
a day.
Yeah, that's where what we're building towards, I think, is the right ticket, man. Having larger co-manufacturers that are able to make our tried and true. We've nailed the recipe, nailed the design of the bag, nailed everything, and then still leaves us with the flexibility to do, you know, e-com and fun stuff and prototype out of here. So
Yeah. So
it'll be fun.
That's kind of an update for Fat and Weird Cookie. Like I said, the cookie dough bites are something that we're really excited about. Potentially could be rolling out to grocery stores or Dash Mart and stuff in the next like 60 to 90 days, I'd say. So, yeah, be on the lookout for that. And then we are going to be in every single Myers locations by April 1st. So, technically in 5 more days or 6 more days or whatever, we'll be in every single one. So there are some that apparently already have it.
So just hopefully they don't April Fool's us.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So I'll get Christian probably to follow up, make sure that they're out. But yeah. Well, thank you guys for joining us for this podcast. You're worth it. Do hard shit.